Okay, so good morning, everybody. My name is Ninotchka. To those of you who don't know me, I'm from Goa, and I used to be in the aviation industry. I worked in the aviation industry for 13 years, out of which 5 years I spent as a safety trainer. I trained pilots and cabin crew with safety emergency procedures on board the aircraft. I taught them about aircraft systems. And then 7 years later, here I am in IAT and practicing in grade 1. So, aviation trainer in the classroom. I have students who are 5 feet, right up to 6 feet tall. Age range of 21 right up to 60. Not a problem, I can handle that. I walk into grade 1, right? These people are like 3 feet tall. 6, 7 years of age, and they intimidated me. I actually stepped back. When I was a safety trainer, my students had to have patience with me. In grade 1, I had to have the patience with them. As a safety trainer, my job was to teach my crew that they need to evacuate the aircraft. If they have to evacuate an aircraft, they have to evacuate within less than 90 seconds. So you have 200 passengers on board, they need to get out in less than 90 seconds. Grade 1, I stand there and announce, hey guys, we have to go for PE to the sports field. It takes us 9 minutes from the time I've announced till the time we reach the sports field. Guess what happens when you announce it? What do you think happens? What will they ask for? Bathroom break? They want water break? And of course then comes the conflict, peer conflict. So that's my experience so far. I've also seen that when I was a safety trainer and you had adults, they came with big baggage in the classroom, huge bags, and they were filled with ego. They were filled with family problems, financial commitments, girlfriend problems, boyfriend problems, pati or wo problems. And grade 1, they still had baggage. Their baggage was still filled with ego. Their baggage had hygiene issues, it had eating healthy issues, it had peer conflict, sibling rivalry. It was there. It was very much there. And as a teacher, as a facilitator, you had to spot that. You had to address that if you want learning to happen in your classroom. Also, another thing that I experienced was, from my personal experience, I was able to share with my crew as a safety trainer that if you ever have a complaint on board an aircraft, it's because you have ignored somebody. You haven't acknowledged their presence on the aircraft. And coming to grade 1, it's the same thing. If you hear a child complaining, it's because some of their peers are ignoring them, or not accepting them, or not acknowledging them. It's the same thing, no matter how old they are. And so moving on to my teaching experience. I came from a background where as a safety trainer, our classroom or our curriculum was very structured. The maximum time I had with the students was 2.5 weeks to deliver everything I had to have. Minimum 1 day. Grade 1, I have 10 months. Okay? As a safety trainer, I had learning aids. I had PPTs, I had huge manuals, I had simulators, I had equipment to work with. When come to grade 1, everything gets thrown out the window. You can't use any of that. Nature is your best friend. Working from near to far is what works in a grade 1 classroom. And it was heartening to see that, and I walked in thinking I will depend on technology, but I learned that you can't, you just can't. You cannot in a classroom environment. So as I said, our training was for 2.5 weeks. So when I had to deliver my curriculum at the speed of lightning. It was really fast. They understood me, not a problem. But coming to grade 1, I realized I had to slow down. For learning to really take place, for them to understand, they need time. And you have time, you have 10 months. No one's going anywhere. For them to actually enjoy a story, to truly savor a story, to visualize the story, I needed to slow down. And along with that came lesson planning. Lesson planning, you learn about the what, the why, the how of lesson planning, and in the process, you learn how children learn. And you have to tailor your lesson plan for that to actually happen. So one of my lessons that I conducted was about consonant blends. So as an activity, what I did was I paired them up and I gave them a sheet of paper. Each one had a different set of blends to work with. All they had to do at grade 1 was illustrate, or they had to write words down. So the minimum I got was 5 words, maximum 10, very happy. And then there was one child who was working alone. So I looked at his sheet of paper and I compared it to the rest. So I'll give you an example. When collaboration happened, there was, for example, draw. So they had drive, draw, dream. Wonderful, very happy. And then this boy who was working alone, I looked at his sheet. Across the sheet, he had bra. So he wrote brown. And that was the only word with the consonant blend. Below B was bar, below R was roll, so he played Scrabble all by himself. And that was my learning, where the power of collaboration. If you want ideas on the table, you need to collaborate. Okay? Going forward, when people get into the work environment, that is all that happens. You're going to have to learn to work together. And of course, along with that, it doesn't end with curriculum, teaching in a classroom. So again, as a safety trainer, I taught them about, I had to talk about empathy and compassion. Why? Because, so I worked with a Gulf airline, and we flew, one of the destinations were in the Indian subcontinent. So some of the destinations in the Indian subcontinent had a lot of laborers. So these people have not gone home for 5 years plus. They don't know how to use an aircraft laboratory. So there, as crew, you have to empathize and be compassionate about it when you are there on board the aircraft. Come back to grade 1 classroom. Every second day, the word that was plastered, I saw, was respect. Respect for your peers, adults, resources, compassion, empathy, and big thing, perseverance. Huge word. They persevered all right through the year. I saw their reports. Beautifully, they have grown. Their reading levels have increased. And it's wonderful to see. You guys have persevered as well, beautifully. The IAT team with their vision, they continue to persevere through it all. Thank you to the RTs and to IAT for believing in all of us. And Samira. So Miss Samira has modeled to me what it is to be a mentor. So thank you for that. And Renzi, who isn't here. So Renzi's not only modeled what it is to be a mentor, but she's also taught me what it is to be a teacher in a classroom. So she's got this lovely talent of singing. And I saw how she would gather the children during the classroom. She would manage them just by singing. She would use her voice even during energizers. And she urged me to do that because I was so shy. I was like, I'm not going to sing in front of 32 of them. You have to know every word because they hold you to it. And she really pushed me and urged me, and I did. I now found out that I'm known as the singing teacher. Children go back home, they pull their parents up, and they make them sing a song with them. Can you guess which song? Something from Morning Circle.
Green Rose.
As I walk along the river. So the parents are busy. So it's nice to see that the parents are involved with the children as well at home. So I think I would like to end today's speech of mine with a quote from John Dewey. And he says, if you teach children of today the way we taught them yesterday, we will rob them of tomorrow.